Hey everybody out in YouTube land, thanks for tuning in to Gardening with Jeff. We're going to be planting our watermelons today, our watermelon seed direct sowing. It is May 14th when we're filming this, and I'm just doing some quick bed prep. This is part of my perimeter gardening, and in the last couple of days I came over and I just flipped the soil. So this had previously had cabbage growing in it. I just turned the soil over and let it sit for a few days. And now I'm coming through with my hoe and I'm just breaking up some of these clods, some of these little bigger clods. And then after I do that, I'm going to rake this bed smooth. Now we're going to be planting some seed that I had saved last year, and they were sugar baby watermelons. We had a really good crop, and I saved the seeds from our best watermelon. I had a 22-pound sugar baby watermelon last year, and I saved all the seeds from that. So I'm really interested to see if we're able to get some additional big watermelons from that. Normally with a sugar baby, you're not going to get watermelons of that size. So that's why I wanted to save that seed so that we can, try to replicate the good genes. You'll notice after I hoed that over, I just come by and breaking it, trying to get that extra debris off the top of the soil. I'll come back through with my 5-gallon bucket and we'll scoop that debris up and we'll get that put in the compost pile. Okay. Now, let's get to planting. In addition to the sugar babies, I also have these Tailgate seedless watermelons from Haas Tools. They do require a pollinator. That's why I'm planting sugar babies with them. And let's check out the spacing on these. Last year, I think I got 7 plants in this area. 5 to 6 foot row spacing. We're only doing 1 row, so we don't have to worry about that. Seed spacing within the row, about 2 foot. So what I'm thinking, I have green beans planted here. They're going down the chain link fence there. And I want to bring the plant, because I'll be mowing along this edge to maintain the weeds while the plants start getting going. Green beans are there. I'll have the watermelon vines going all which direction. I'm going to go ahead and just give a little bit of space between my green beans, maybe 10 inches or so. And I'm going to come in. I'm not going to do a hill or anything. I've done hills in the past with watermelons, but I didn't really like it. And I'm going to start with a pollinator, which is going to be the seed that I saved. And I'm going to put 4 of those per hole. Now, you probably don't normally have to plant that many, but since I saved these seeds, I'm not a seed saving professional by any means. So I'm going to go with 4 seeds. And then I've got a little trick. I'm going to cover them with one of these little metal galvanized tins. And what that's going to do is that is going to help retain the moisture in that soil, kind of like my germination racks that I have created. I'm just going to put that over, and after we're done planting, I'm going to come back through and water under there. I'm going to leave these seeds covered until they germinate, which is probably going to take about 4 days. Okay, now in the seed from Haas Tools, they have a pollinizer, a Charleston gray, and then they also have your seedless seeds. So let's see what we can get going. I've got a pollinizer there. I'm going to come over 1 foot, 2 foot. Doesn't have to be perfect. Dig a little hole. You like to plant them twice the depth of the seed. It's not going to be a very deep hole. Seed's about 1/4 inch tall. I'm just going to go about 1/4 inch deep. Make sure I got my 2 seeds in there. 1, 2, okay. Doesn't have to be very deep. I want to make sure those seeds can get up. I'm going to cover it with a galvanized bucket. I'm going to move on. They recommended, I've seen every other or every third row a pollinizer. So I'm going to go pollinizer, seedless, seedless, pollinizer. So that each of my seedless watermelons has a pollinizer sitting in either direction of it. And then this will also help me if I have to do any replanting. If any of these seeds don't come up for any reason, I'll know that I went, you know, sugar baby, seedless, seedless, etc., etc. So, pollinizer, seedless, seedless. So, what'll be next? The pollinizer. Now, let's go ahead and use some of these Charleston gray that they provided. I've never grown Charleston gray, so, you know, I'm all about experimentation in the garden setting. So I'm going to put 2 Charleston gray seeds in there. I'm going to cover them up. I tamp them down. Put our little bucket. Come on down. As you can see, this is fairly easy. The key to getting good direct seeding success is all about your moisture. And using these little galvanized containers that I had on hand, those are going to greatly increase our germination rates. So I'm really excited about that. Now I have, that gives us 3 hills or 3 locations of seedless. Come over a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and do a seeded here. I'm going to do some more of the seeds that I had saved myself. So I'm going to plant them a little thicker. Get them covered up. It's fantastic. Well, I'll continue planting the rest of this row off camera. But essentially what I want you to take from this is get out there and try some new varieties. You know, don't just do the same old, same old. I have 3 varieties planted here. I have the Tailgate seedless watermelon, Charleston gray, and sugar baby seeds that I had saved from my own crop last year. Be sure that the soil is, you know, well prepared. I chopped it with a hoe. I double dug it yesterday or a few days ago. I raked it smooth so that the seed would make good seed to soil contact. I've also, after placing the seed in the ground, I tamped it down to make sure that there was no air spaces in that seed. You want to make sure the seed has good contact to moist soil at all times. I've covered these up with a little galvanized bucket. Anything would work. Anything you have that you can cover up. You could use a piece of cardboard even. You just want to make sure that the soil underneath it stays damp until that seed germinates. I'll probably be removing these buckets here in about 3 days or so, 3 to 4 days. And after that, I can use them to plant something else. So, thanks for tuning in for this little watermelon planting guide. And I appreciate you joining me in my garden. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Thank you. Have a great day.